Episode 38 of Nice Shirt Name 3 Songs is brought to you by Rock Metal Fan Nation, aka brought to you by us. We are in for a very special episode. We are going to rank the top 10 best rock and metal albums of the year. I have my own list. Russ, you have your own list. First of all, before we get ahead of it, how are you doing?
I'm doing fucking great, man. You got a haircut. You look great.
Yeah, I feel like if people are watching this, they're probably gonna be like, "Oh, Chris tried to look like Russ," and I didn't intend that, but we kind of have a matching thing going.
We definitely do. Now that you think about it, but is this your load moment? Is this like it's time to cut the hair? You know
what I'm going to do on Insta, because I haven't revealed it on Insta. I'm going to beg followers not to unfollow me, because last time I cut my hair, so many people unfollowed me. They called me a poser. So please, people, I'm the same Chris. I just couldn't deal with the fucking hair anymore. All right.
Well, you look sexy as ever. And you know what, man? It's sometimes you just need a change. You're still as rock and metal as ever, people. So just look a little bit more prim and proper.
A little more proper, but yeah, you know what? And I had COVID last week. And in that time, I think, you're sweaty. So my hair was all greasy. It was on my face. And I was like, you know what? This fucking sucks. That was part of my my motivation to just fucking get rid of it. But I'm feeling good. I'm really excited we're doing this episode. We're cramming it in. I mean, I feel like these you know how December is, man. It's a whirlwind out there. I'm sure everyone else is feeling the same.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Did you get COVID from the Creed show, your favorite show ever? And you got COVID?
I am near positive that I got COVID from the Creed.
The COVID Creed show. It will forever be known as that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty pissed. I actually got it twice in 2024, and I had only gotten it once beforehand. So shitty year, but whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Well, hey,
yeah, it's all good.
As we go into this episode, top 10 albums, and then I think next week, are we doing top 10 songs? Is that what you're feeling? What do you think?
Oh, hell yeah. So next week, what we'll do, and we'll kind of expand on it, we're going to do the top 10 rock songs of the year and the top 10 metal songs. Because I feel like, yeah, you gotta break them up. There's so much great music. And I think if we did top 10 rock and metal songs, the whole top 10 would be metal. Because I think it was a better year for metal. So we're going to separate them. The rock fans will be happy. The metal fans will be happy. So that's what we'll do next week as we wrap up 2024. But today will be top 10 rock and metal albums. So all the heavy music will be combined into one.
I love it, man. Well, hey, before we get into that, how about we do this like music news thing, but we do it in a little different format, like rapid fire. So I'm sure I would guess you have a list over there. And
yes, sir.
You're going to go through some stuff, and then I'll comment if I think it's cool, if it sucks, and if it's just stupid, I just won't say anything, and you keep rolling.
I love it. All right. Rock and metal news, rapid fire. Let's do this, okay? And if I ever linger too much, you need to tell me, moving on. Fucking move
or I'll
on.
Just show my liquid death. Water that I'm drinking right now. So
I love it. At least one of us is being good today.
Yeah, all right. Not a sponsor, but if you want to, come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So rapid fire news. First of all, Bring Me the Horizon may be taking a hiatus in 2025. Ollie Sykes has indicated that he is fatigued from all the post-gen work on their latest album. He is saying maybe not until 2027 there will be new Bring Me the Horizon music. So ouch for those fans.
Yeah, I mean, don't record so long then. Don't be Metallica and take 5 years or whatever it is. Just in, out, or just don't fucking say anything. Bands usually don't say anything right after they release an album. He just released it. Well, like you shouldn't expect an album right away. Go tour on it. Have fun, man. Like enjoy it.
Totally agree. We just talked about Creed before. The return of the summer 99
I
tour.
saw this. Oh, you are so buying like 4 tour date tickets to that thing.
Unbelievable. So they're doing North America again. They're bringing Three Doors Down, Daughtry, Big Wreck, who I've never heard of in my life, and Mammoth. I'm surprised that Mammoth has moved so down that list. I mean, I think Mammoth should be right before Three Doors Down. Regardless, there are a ton of dates. This is a July through August tour, and I want to pause for the Alter Bridge fans because Tremonti just said that Alter Bridge will be recording a new album in March. So you have new Alter Bridge album recording in March, then Creed in July. So when is Alter Bridge going to be released? Creed, we're not going to see an album for like 5 years. I feel like it's starting to become a clusterfuck, I think, from a scheduling standpoint already with Tremonti and his bands. And his solo album is out in February, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got too many things going on. Like, also, it's muddying itself to me. Like, yep. You're putting out too many riffs that are the same. They're great. He's such a shredder. His sound is so heavy. But, dude, like, what even is it? Is it a Creed? Is it Alter Bridge? Is it Tremonti solo? Is it Slack? Like, you just don't know what it is. I mean, man, I love him, but and if that's your career, you get to do music for it. Awesome. What's there to stop you? But as a fan, run it all together, man. Like, I don't know, whatever. What else, Chris? Hit me.
I'm with you. More kind of delays here. Brian Head Welch from Korn said that it is going to take a long time for this next album to come out. I feel like they've missed the boat a little on the new metal revival. I mean, they're still selling plenty, but Head, quote unquote, said it's not going to be soon. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I have heard so much Korn, man. Like, I love Korn. I grew up on Korn in the new metal phase. I've seen him a ton of times, probably like double digits. Actually, definitely double digits. Love him, but not that I'm like over him, but honestly, I don't really care. Like, it's probably going to sound like Korn. There's probably going to be bagpipes in it, and it'll probably be good and half bad. Like, I mean, sure, no problem, Head. Make it 2 years from now.
I'm with you, especially because their last album, Requiem, in my opinion, as an album, sucked, and it was only 9 songs. Unless you're Metallica in the 80s, you cannot make an album under 10 songs. That drives me fucking insane.
Yeah.
Or unless
if you're doing 8 or 9 songs, you're right. They have to be long. They got to be like 8-minute bangers, if that.
Yeah, so. It was like a 29-minute Korn album, and it was garbage. The album before that, The Nothing, I loved, but we'll wait for a Korn release. More Korn news. Korn and System of a Down are going to be playing at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey on August 28th, I believe. Holy shit, that is going to be a big one.
Well, did you see Korn's playing with Deftones in Canada? And then Korn's playing with somebody, or System and Deftones in Canada, and then System and somebody else, Avenged Sevenfold in LA.
Yes, so it is on August 28th. It's with Korn in New Jersey. Then you have Chicago, August 31st with Avenged Sevenfold, and then Toronto, September 3rd with Deftones.
There we go.
Three shows.
Never let me down, man. You never let me down knowing the deets, man. Dude, I love System. I've seen them, been able to see them live now, and I checked it off the list. Unreal. It's also unreal and makes me want to bang my fucking head up against the wall that they have not released new music. It makes you want to scream.
It's Surge, an awful thing.
Surge, Pankin, whatever, the fucking everybody. And like, dude, just fucking release the music. What are we doing here?
I'm blaming Darren on this one. I really think
I fucking love Darren. I know you're on Surge's side.
I am.
Think it's the other way.
Yeah, and I don't usually side with the singer, but I'm siding with him on this one. Anyway, moving on, rapid fire. Interesting article came out on Blabbermouth. If anyone is interested in Arch Enemy, amazing band. Alyssa White Glutes opened up about a recent health scare she had during their Mexico tour. It's pretty interesting. It was the most pain she's ever been in. It led to one show being canceled, at least as far as I remember, but check it out. She's doing well now, but people, you never know if a band cancels. Usually it's pretty serious. Don't get me wrong. There's some bands that cancel for bullshit, but I'm just glad that Alyssa's all right. That new Arch Enemy song is ripping. And I think there's a new one, something with blood in the title. That's pretty.
Yeah, there's 2 of them so far on their new album that's coming out next year. And she can sing. She's also hot as hell too. So yeah.
Win-win. Well, as of this recording, today we're recording on December 10th. But I wanted to shout out that 2 days ago, it was the anniversary of Dimebag Darrell's death on December 8th. Absolute tragedy. We miss and love the Abbott brothers so much. So I wanted to call that out. I feel like we can do a whole episode just on Dimebag and what he has done for the rock and metal community.
And we should. So fucking 2025, let's do it. I listened to Pantera 2 days ago, and a little Hell Yeah, actually, which I think you basically got into again.
Oh yeah,
last week.
Oh, so great. And I actually just got one of my best buddies who I'm surprised that you haven't met him yet. Huge into our shit. Awesome guy. Nice. But my buddy, shout out to Jordan. He's been on a Damage Plan kick. I introduced him to him and he can't stop listening to him.
Breathing new life back into me. That song is so good.
Oh, it is fantastic.
Newfound Power, right? Isn't it Newfound Power is the album or the song? Oh man. Great.
The album is, and it's like they're walking away from the explosion.
From an explosion, yes.
Hell yeah, that's how you do it.
Hell yeah,
Iron Maiden has announced a new drummer. So their drummer is stepping down from touring. No surprise. God bless. Like the journey that they've been on. It is a drummer that people will be familiar with because this drummer is in I believe it's Bruce Dickinson's son's band. Oh my gosh, what are they called? British Lion. Yeah, so he's been a session drummer for Maiden. It's not really going to change, much of Maiden, but you
just saw Maiden. You got to see him. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Again, they're not a favorite of mine because the lead singer's voice is just a little too high for me. But
yeah, it's a little out of my range.
Yeah, like them, still good, still great. And hey, man, 42 years in a band. If you just got to call it, call it, right? There you go.
Yeah. All That Remains has announced, finally, their new album is coming out January 31st, entitled Anti-Fragile. It is 10 songs. There's already like 4 or 5 of them out already, which is kind of dumb, but
we could talk about that on how much I hate that too. You released a single, maybe 2, and then you wait until the album releases. Like, fuck this 4 or 5 songs of a 9-10 song album out before. Like, what are you doing?
So lame. It is so lame. And I think All That Remains, they've really dragged out this release. I don't even know what song I've heard. There's Divine, No Tomorrow, Forever Cold, and Let You Go. I know Phil was under a lot of scrutiny online. He had a lot of like hot takes, but then he cooled off. I haven't heard shit about them.
Yeah, neither have I.
Fucking cool album cover though. So we'll see more about that. Going back to your buddy, Miles Kennedy.
Oh, great.
Total class act. In a recent interview with Ladder Sound, Miles basically celebrated his bandmate's success with the Creed reunion. He said they were in their 20s. They were just kids when they blew it up. And I will say it's freaking beautiful that they're getting this third chance and it's happening and it's going gangbusters. Hate that word. And I pray that it keeps going and going for them because I think it's great. It's great for the fans to hear the songs. It makes people happy. End quote. Good for you, Miles.
And no comment from Rockstar Rusty.
Buckcherry is finishing up their 11th album, and apparently they sound really great. Really hot quote from Josh Todd, their singer. Not really excited about a new Buckcherry album, but I know people get
11. They're gonna have 11 albums.
Oh yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's a lot of the same recycled songs. But another band that is approaching their 11th album is Machine Fucking Head. Great band.
Yeah.
So they are putting the finishing touches on their 11th album. I am a big Machine Head fan. I think they're fucking awesome. Their last album, I think it was like To Kingdom Come. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I like them. I don't love them, but yeah. I like Buckcherry's like 15 album and like
that's the
Black Butterfly or something, and then that's it. I got nothing else. Right.
Here's why I'm mad at Buckcherry. They had this hilarious song called Too Drunk to ... and the whole line is Too Drunk to Fuck. Hilarious song. It has been taken down from all streaming.
Dude, really? I love that song.
It's a fucking party song.
Yeah, he talks about going out in Brooklyn and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, now, Blacked Out in Brooklyn, right? Or is that a song? That's a good one too.
I know the first line is like I hit the bottle in the morning and then in the summertime.
Yeah.
I quit my job because it gets in the way. It's a fucking funny song. The riff is like this staggery.
They're kind of like a poor man's Guns N' Roses, right? Like
very much. That is spot on. Surviving members of the band Soundgarden are performing at the Smooch Benefit concert in Seattle. They will be having a female singer, and I hope they tread lightly, because if Soundgarden gets back together, first of all, they should never do that. But if they do that and he's a female singer, we're going to have another Linkin Park disaster on our hands.
No comment. Move on.
Killswitch Engage guitarist Adam D and ex-singer Howard Jones have announced the name of their new project. I am more excited about that than the new Killswitch. The new Killswitch song has not aged well for me, although I will say the verses are pretty good. I do not like the chorus, though.
Yeah,
but the band,
I think I like it better than you.
Yeah, I think you do, which is surprising. I was
very
actually surprised.
surprising.
But the new band name with Howard Jones and Adam D is called Burn Eternal. A lot of references to fire. They had the Signal Fire they did together. Howard Jones's other band is Light the Torch. Why is everything on fire here?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I mean, I love fire. I also love Light the Torch, and it sucks they're not a band anymore, right?
Are they on like hiatus or something?
I don't know. I feel like you don't need to announce it. They just like stop and like don't exist, right?
Yeah, basically. And but you know what band does still exist is Puddle of Mud. Yes, Wes Scantlin has announced that new music is in the works. Holy shit.
Why?
I don't know.
Dude, how's that guy allowed out of jail?
I've got really quick story for you. That same buddy Jordan I talked about saw Puddle of Mud in one of the smallest venues in New Jersey. It's called the Stanhope House in Stanhope, New Jersey. And you know what? I'm going to tease everybody. I'm not going to tell you the story of Wes Scantlin. It is one of the funniest things. One day we'll get him on, and it's bizarre. You will never look at Puddle of Mud the same way again. And that's all I got, man. That's the news. I feel like, I don't know if it was rapid, but it was more rapid than the past.
Yeah, definitely more rapid than the past. We were moving along. But yeah, I mean, I almost feel like you had more topics, but solid.
No, we covered a lot. I mean, last week it was a lot about like the tours and stuff. So I really wanted to get through those, but now what we're going to see is a lot of album announcements for next year. Oh, one other thing. Your boy, Maynard James Keenan, is helping people get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu more. He's actually releasing an educational film, The Great In Between, an introduction to Jiu-Jitsu. Maynard, stop it and make a Perfect Circle album.
Yeah.
Come on now.
God, he fucking wants to go on the Sasante shithole tour instead and release stupid crap. He does it. Well, that's a hobby, right? So like, I can't shade on the hobby of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's a bad hobby.
It's a hobby, but it's like cars for me or like other stuff. But dude, man, I love Maynard, but my God, I hate that tour exists. I'm actually pissed I even saw it.
Wait, sorry, you cut out. Say that again.
I'm just pissed I even saw it. The Sasante tour. It was.
I can't believe it. I can't believe you saw that, because I looked at it and I was like, "This looks fucking bad," and I just didn't do it.
And it was tough, but I don't know, man. Whatever. Hey, let's shift gears. I feel like it's album time. Top 10 albums of 2024, people. I'm sure you have a lot of favorites. Maybe you don't, but today we're going to talk about ours. I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to let Chris, I don't know, dude, who goes first here? What do you think?
I don't know.
How do you want to do it?
Well, I wanted to ask you first. I think it's important that people understand how, like, our criteria. Yep. So whoever, like, I don't mind going first. Or if you want to go first, but either way, before we get into our list, I think we should both list the criteria that we had when we came up with our list.
I love it. Yeah. So here's what we'll do. I'll list my criteria.
Okay.
I will go first because I have a hot take.
Not surprised.
Not surprised. I did a lot of self-reflecting, and I hate hot takes. But this is just how I feel. And if you're going to listen to this podcast, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get me to be real and tell you how I feel, whether it's the list assignment or whatever the hell I'm going to say next. But I've done these lists in the past with my other buddies. This is why, again, Chris and I have really hit it off so well, because he's like, yo, I do this, I do that. I'm like, I'm already doing that with my other rock and metal buddies. So we would do both of these things, top 10 songs of the year, top 10 albums. And we would rank them on, I'll call it musicianship, feel, personal connectivity. This is what I'm always doing when I listen to music. So feel, musicality, personal connectivity, time of your life. Like that's the connectivity piece. It could be a moment where like you were on a road trip, you first listened to said album straight through on road trip. Now you always remember the road trip because of that album. Like that's the beauty of music. So I'm always like hunger. My hunger is for that, to feel that, to accomplish that, to like fill up my alcoholic drink with that love and musicality and feeling and all of it. So I started looking at the music library, at every list that might have come out already, just to remember what came out.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say it, man. I do not have 10 albums that I could even rank that connected with me enough to list. I think for the first time in a really long time. And you know why? We're not talking songs here, people. We are talking albums. And for me, I grew up on the album, not like skipping and cherry picking with songs. And I really thought long and hard of this one. I thought really, really hard. I listened to a lot, and I'm just like, I am not feeling it. Like, yeah, sure, there's a couple duds on any album. Just because there isn't a good song does not mean I'm not classifying that album in my list. Just connectivity, man, was not there for me. So
I understand.
I just like, I'm like, you know what? Like, if I put 10 albums up for this episode and this list, I would be frauding myself because I don't feel it. And this year was a struggle for me musically, like clamoring for something that I feel like just wasn't coming out. Like if this was last year, I'd probably have 20 some albums and I'd have to fight through it. But for me, it just wasn't it for the year. So I'll pause there. I'll let you react to it. Then I want to hear your thought and criteria on yours. And then I'll just tell you my shit. And then we'll focus the rest on yours, man.
No, that sounds great. And I understand. And I like that. You're not compromising. You're not naming 10 just to name 10. I get it. This was more of a year of nostalgia for me with music. You know, there's a certain band that I won't name, but if people have listened, they know who it is. That like, actually a couple of them from the 90s that I just went on benders on. So it was actually a struggle to get into a lot of new music. I do have 10, but it wasn't as easy. I technically had 12, so I did have to trim mine down, but I do agree that 2023 was a lot better. I admire the fact that you are not compromising what makes your list. So I'm pretty fucking amped. I know off the top of my head one album that's on your list. I fucking know it. And I'm sure listeners do too. But other than that, maybe I know two. But other than that, I'm ready to be surprised.
Dude, if that album you're thinking about didn't come out, I probably would have just jumped off my roof this year musically because it just wasn't it for me. It just wasn't. Dude, on my list, I'm not going to say it yet. On my list, I have 3 albums. That's it.
Okay, so I definitely know 2 out of 3 of your albums.
Yeah,
100%.
3 albums, maybe a 4th, but I'm like, no, I'm forcing it. I'm like, it's still good, but like, it just, I don't know, it just wasn't connecting with me. So,
all right, so start at your the bottom one, your number 3 for the year.
I mean, this is insane, people, but this is it. This is what you're gonna get out of me for songs next week. I feel we'll get songs, but they're gonna be a struggle. I will have 10 songs, and Chris and I next week will go song for song, 10, 9, we'll count it down. But
well, no, you need 20 songs next week. We're doing 10 rock and 10 metal. So
dude. Yeah, get out of here. Oh man, yeah, you're right. I'll get 20 songs. God, dude, I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but like it's not even the full album. Number 3 is the Bring Me the Horizon album.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually think I'm gonna go 3 for 3 on you.
You are going to go 3 for 3 because it's all we talked about. Because there's not other good full album music that I love. So Bring Me the Horizon.
This is surprising to me. I mean, it was surprising before you and I started doing the pod that you liked this album. I feel like it's not really a you vibe. So why does this
weird,
make your
uppity, beady, like poppy, and I don't like it. But then it's like this weird guilty pleasure of like the heavy ones and the feel ones of when it's not cheesy. I hate fucking cheesy, but they're kind of cheesy sometimes. But that's why I'm honest and real. I don't have 10, and I've listened to this one enough that it's made it into my like subconscious. So number 3 is Bring Me the Horizon.
Can I tell you, the song Utopia makes me so fucking happy.
Yeah.
I fucking love Utopia.
Dude, it's really good.
It's really good. I would say that's the genre defying one. Now, my take about Bring Me the Horizon is they are a modern day kind of Linkin Park in terms of what they're trying to do with genre blending. A lot of metalcore bands are trying that. I think If I Prevail, who I like a lot, but I know sometimes they're pushing it a little like too much. But Bring Me the Horizon, I feel like pulls off most of their jumps across genres pretty well.
It's weird, man. My buddy Kenny almost gets mentioned every pod. We did our like, what is it, Spotify Wrapped or whatever it was, right? And I had the iTunes one, and he's like, that band wound up in your top 5 listens. And I'm like, dude, I know. So, all right. So number 3, because I want to keep this moving.
Yep.
The Kerry King album, the Kerry King solo album. I was telling you, and I referenced it on another episode, I just needed something fucking heavy this year. And I was really struggling for good heavy. And it is just good thrash heavy. I'm not saying every song makes me feel like Utopia, like Bring the Horizon, but it's heavy, it's headbanging, it's thrash, it's got metal to it. There's some good screaming, and it feels good. So that is number 2. And then I'm just going to drum roll it because I want to hear about your list. Drum roll. It is the Seether album.
Yes. I went 3 for 3.
Love that album. And if that album didn't come out, I don't know what I would have done. And it was a late release in the year. I was just struggling musically on what to listen to. So I'm just going to read the last thing. So again, out of top 10 albums, I have 3. Number 1 is the Seether album. Number 2 is Kerry King. Number 3 is the Bring Me the Horizon album. So if you look at some of the albums that are on my most played this year, Mare de Gnomes by A Perfect Circle is one of them.
Hey, right here, man.
Yeah. The other, Death Magnetic by Metallica.
Awesome.
Darker Still by Parkway Drive. Asylum by Disturbed.
Oh.
Yep. The latest self-titled Bullet for My Valentine album, which I love, which has knives on it and Parasite.
Rainbow Veins?
Yes. Yeah, oh God, Rainbow Veins, that name.
Such a bizarre title for that
Ready? Extrovert, the EP by Saint Asonia is on my top album list. And then let's throw in Lyle Lyle Crocodile for my 3-year-old son. The album, movie, cartoon.
That is phenomenal work.
And here's and the Metallica Black album. I've been introing my son into more, I'll call it, appealing, digestible, heavy music. And the Black album is just so perfect for it. So
it really is. I mean, that was my first heavy album too.
Yeah. And my son is 6 and 3. Or my son are 6 and 3. So there you go, Chris. I teased. I didn't give you my list before on purpose because this was me being real, authentic, and true to my musical fucking roots. That's what you're going to get out of me, brother.
I appreciate that. And I know everybody appreciates that too listening. So I have 10. I technically had 12, almost 13. So I actually had some issues with, because there were some good albums for me. Now, let me give context to that, how I'm rating them. It's a combination of the effect on the scene. Okay. So I am taking that into account. It's like this album was really big. It brought new metal fans in. So I do take that. There's obviously for me, it's like, what did I love? What did I listen to a ton? So most of these are in my top 10 most listened to albums for the year. So I tried to be objective while also still critical. And I'm patting myself in the back because 2 of these albums right back here, I love and are from 2024, but are not in my top 10 list.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay.
So like, I love the 311 album. It's very easy. It's kind of poppy. There's some guitars in it, but to me, it's not a top 10 album.
No.
And Better Lovers down there, heavy as fuck. It's from the guys from Dillinger Escape Plan. It's heavy. It's great, but there are 10 albums better to me.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Without further ado, Chris.
Here it is.
The true rock metal fan. Let's start with number 10, my man.
At number 10, I have Post-Human, Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon.
Look at that.
Sir.
We got that. We got a similar album. I love it.
I do think it was overhyped, for sure. They reworked it. They tweaked it too much. They fired their keyboardist and producer, Jordan Fish. The result was still a great album. I mentioned Utopia before. Kool-Aid is just a fucking blast.
Yep.
Limousine kind of has like a shoegaze, like Deftones type vibe.
Yep.
And then you have, pop punk song, Lost.
Yeah, dude, what's the track that's like, I don't know, 2 minutes long and it's just like a really deep beat, like a bass beat. I forget. It's like a transition, and I love
R.I.P. the Dustcore remix.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. See, I like a good feel like that. And Sonos hookup, man, with the sub, they slap.
Yeah, the production quality is amazing. And if you're going to have interludes, the album needs to be like 16 songs. So I like that they did that. They didn't leave you wanting more. I'm not mad that they're not going to make another album. These songs, they've held up. They're fresh. The album came out in May, and I still listen to this shit. It's really good. Die For You, Dig It has that like kind of like deathcore breakdown. Yep. So
Die For You is good.
Yeah, I like it. All right, that's my number 10. So we have one overlap.
All right, number 9.
Number 9 is Never Neverland by Unto Others.
Who the fuck is that?
Okay, so Jose Mangan loves this band. He plays them on Liquid Metal a lot. They're technically goth metal. They're not really metal, but the singer, you could tell, loved Peter Steele from Typo Negative. This was an album for them. So they got, in my opinion, some favoritism from Jose, which is fine. I get that this shit happens and like Jose likes the guys. Cool, whatever. So this is album number 3. I think a make or break for them. They had the rug pulled out from under them because a band they were opening for just canceled their US tour. So they didn't get to promote this album. It does suck. It pissed me off, but let me tell you, people, Never Neverland by Unto Others is such a vibey, gothic, hard rock and metal fusion. Not many songs sound the same. There's some songs that I feel like Michael Poulsen from Volbeat is pissed that he didn't write. And the singers are a little similar. They're definitely some
Elvis metal.
A little bit, but again, more towards the typo side. I love this album. It's some of my recommendations: Butterfly, Mama Likes the Door Closed, Suicide Today, which is actually like a anti-suicide song, which is really cool. I Am the Light, like Never Neverland, the title track. It's awesome. But yeah, another 2 albums in a row, 16 songs. People, I like long albums. This album to me, it's a treat. It has the accessibility where I've pressure tested it. You can play some of these songs in a party setting and no one's gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like it's got some like synth pop 80s vibes on some of the songs. So dude, I like it. Jose Mangan likes it. So it's gotta be pretty good.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. I'll have to check it out. All these things I don't know on your list, I've already added to my library.
My man, that's what I'm here for.
All right, number 8. What do we got?
Number 8, Invincible Shield by the mighty Judas Priest. I am not traditionally a big Judas Priest fan, man. Like, it's kind of like the Iron Maiden thing, but to me, Judas Priest is a little more accessible.
That was my one album that I
Almost
thought
made it.
could make the list, but I'm like, you know what? No, it's just it would just be like I'd be putting it there to put it there. But dude, what was their album before that? Was it called Firepower or something? Whatever that was. And there's a song with Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch. Oh man, I forget what it is.
No, the FFDP one. It's on the FFDP album, and it's called "Lift Me Up."
Lift Me Up.
Rob Halford.
Yes, that song's amazing. But yeah, I think Firepower was the last Judas Priest album.
You showed me that album,
dude.
Like,
it is
how many years?
so,
like 7 years ago.
Dude,
you showed me that album.
It is so good and so heavy, and you're like, wait, Judas Priest could be this heavy? Yep. So yeah, that new album is really good, but I didn't have enough time with it. It didn't fully get me. But tell me about you and the album.
I spent a good amount of time on it. Panic Attack was the lead single. It's a perfect Judas Priest single for this time. They've also set the record. They're the only metal band, or maybe the only band, that has released an album 50 years apart from their first to their most recent.
50? Holy
50.
Shit.
Fucking insane. Songs like the title track, Invincible Shield, are great. Devil in Disguise, As God Is My Witness. That song just makes me want to fucking hit something, which I didn't think it's kind of old man metal, but I don't give a fuck. It's
definitely old man metal.
It's good shit. So, and I'm not gonna lie, people, this one isn't one that I revisit a ton. So this is me being objective and looking at the overall scene, and I'm like, you know what? Judas Priest released an album and it exceeded their expectations. I need them on my list.
And that's where my list did not incorporate that, which is cool and unique and different, because my list doesn't even have 10 fucking albums, because I could have put 6 other ones on there, or the Spirit Box EP or whatever, but it's not an album to me. And
we don't do EPs here. Fuck
no,
that.
Definitely not. So
EPs
all right,
suck.
number 7, Chris.
You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to by Knocked Loose. I love this album. I thought when it first came out, it was going to be at the top of my list. It hasn't aged as well as I thought it would. I will get into some of the more specific songs when we do the top 10 rock songs and top 10 metal songs. But yeah, this was Knocked Loose has been rising in fame, and now even you have heard of him, Russ.
I know.
People love that fucking reel that I posted. That was just such a great reaction. You're like, I'm going to be honest. I was like, who the fuck is Knocked Loose?
Who the fuck is Knocked Loose?
Brilliant. And you know what? That's great, because they are taking the internet by storm, but that doesn't mean they're taking the actual rock and metal community by storm, right? There's still a difference, right? What you see online, people, is not exactly how it's playing out in our scene. But look, this is an album that they nailed. They needed to deliver. They needed 4 great singles. Blinding Faith was the lead single, and it's an absolute monster. They did the Suffocate song with Poppy, which we talked about on Jimmy Kimmel. Yep. So I'm happy for them. I think they did great, but the staying power isn't great for me. But one final thing I'll say, for such a hardcore album, these songs flow into each other fucking amazingly. Nice. And we're album people, and with hardcore albums, they're not long. It's 10 songs, but 28 minutes.
Yeah.
The songs bleed into each other, and you can tell a lot of thought went behind it. So kudos to Knocked Loose on.
Dude, album flow is so important to me, because it makes it. It's so much bigger than just an epic song, like a full album. That's again why I did not have. I couldn't fill out 10 people. All right, number 6, Chris.
The Surface Seems So Far by Seether. So that is our only other overlap that we have. It's a great album. It's an album I don't think you and I expected to be as good as it was. It is consistent. It's got staying power. It's funny. When I say staying power, I think of a bad fart that doesn't go away. But when I'm saying it here in this context, it's songs that I can keep listening to, that they don't get stale or because I'm guilty of when a new album comes out, I'm like, this is awesome. And then a month later, I'm like, I can't name a song. I think Seether weirdly outdid themselves with this album.
Yeah, I really love it. It's got the heavy feel, it's got the emotional feel, it's got like a 6.5-minute song, I think. Dead on the Vine, maybe, or maybe that's 5, whatever it is. It's like
something up there.
Yeah, it's
a little foggy for them.
Yeah, it's more meaty to digest for them. And now that they play with 2 guitar players, it just works better. So
yeah, and I didn't like Judas Mind that much when it first came out, but I think it's important in the context of the album. The songs flow really well. Overall, I think the reason why you like it too is it is such a vibe album. That whole album is one mood, really.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Oh,
yeah. And I think it has some nice clean guitar riffs for the early 2000 fans from like Disclaimer too.
Yeah, I'm getting on a plane on Thursday this week, and I will be shuffling that album basically as soon as I get on, guaranteed.
You got to get that vinyl, man.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
The shirt, the vinyl, everything. Yeah. Give me the cassette still, too.
Oh, my gosh. Amazing.
Number five.
All right. It is an album that is right up there behind me. That is 7 Hours After Violet, a.k.a. Shav's band from System of a Down. Wildly surprised by how good this is. You see a lot of, I'd call it a spin-off band. And a lot of times they sound like a bunch of B-sides from their main band. I would say that 7 Hours After Violet, it sounds very unique. Sure, there's a little bit of System of a Downisms, but nothing like when you hear Darren Malakian on guitar, you're like, it's just System. But Shav is different enough. His bass tone it's exactly the same, but they have a 2-singer approach. They've got one singer does like the growling vocals, and then their guitarist does some great backing vocals. I am blown away at the consistency of this thing. It is a hard rock / call it new metal beast that I cannot stop listening to. I fucking love this album. I was even considering it being my number 1.
Dude, what's the name of it? I haven't even listened to it.
It's 7 Hours After Violet. It is. So the opening track, Paradise, is awesome, but my song is Alive.
Okay.
It is nasty. It's ferocious. It doesn't belong on the radio because it is just like when you read the lyrics, they're fucking intense, but there's still the hooks. The hooks are there. And, I love a good vocal hook, but it's just brutal guitar work too.
Added to the library, and I will be listening to it this week.
You will be playing.
Don't let me down, brother.
Out of everything on this list, dude, I think this is the one that you're gonna be like, yo, fuck. Like
this, I thought you were gonna say, have I ever let you down before? And I was gonna say yes.
I have, yeah.
So, yeah.
I have let everybody down when it comes to music recommendations in at least one way.
Just because you listen to too much Oasis.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, number 4.
No, I'm sorry, that was my number 4.
Oh shit, man. I'm just too many numbers, dude. I only had 3.
Hold on. No, you were right. I fucked up. Let me just quickly review. I've got Posthuman, Never Neverland by Unto Others at 9, Invincible Shield at 8, You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to, 7. And number 6, I skipped. It is Negative Spaces by Poppy.
Hey, it's on the board.
Yeah. I fucked that list up. I apologize. So yeah, Negative Space, I have it under Seether. Very surprising album. I'm not a Poppy guy, but this album already, I mean, it only came out a month ago. I listened to it a ton. Mainly, believe it or not, I just started playing Call of Duty again. I put that record on, and it's a great mix of hard rock and metal. There's been funny memes like calling her songs like Popped Loose instead of Knock Loose, because she's got songs that sound like Knock Loose, and she has a similar vocal delivery. It's another monster. I think it's another album with 16 songs, with some interludes. I like Poppy. I never liked her in the past. I never thought I'd have one of her records on the wall. Have you heard any of Negative Spaces?
I've heard the single, the popular track.
New Way Out?
Yeah, that's the one. That one's really good. I like it. I tried. I think I listened to like 3 others, and I was like, all right, it's okay. Like YouTube star, gone famous, cool.
Yeah.
And I wish it was me, but I'm not a hot chick, so good for her.
You are a hot chick.
Love you, baby.
She's got an interesting background. I think she had some legal issues or someone was controlling what she was doing, and that's why she was not in metal. But now apparently, I don't know all the details, but she's doing what she wants, and that is metal. So I'm happy for her. And she linked up with the Bring Me the Horizon ex keyboardist Jordan Fish.
Oh, the keys.
Yeah, but he's also a producer, and I think he's
probably banged her
over the probably did. Oh, actually, no. The rumor is she is with the Noah from Bad Omens.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
They are an item. So anyway, that was my number 6. Sorry, people, that I skipped that. Then number 5 was The Surface Seems So Far by Seether. Then number 4, 7 Hours After Violet, and now I'm at my top 3.
3.
At 3 is Dark Matter by Pearl Jam. I fucking love Pearl Jam, and I think this was a really, really good album for them. And I think it rocked. I think the anticipation that came out when the title track Dark Matter came out, it was nice to hear a lot of people getting into rock music, and they came out with a heavier track. I'm a huge Pearl Jam nerd, and in the context of their work, they fucking killed it. But that doesn't mean it's a great rock album in general. You know what I mean by that?
When you talked about nostalgia, that's probably where a lot of this comes from too.
Yes. Yep.
And I love it, right? It's like if Guns N' Roses for me was out with a new album, I'd probably like put it on there or something like that. Same with Chili Peppers for you. But yeah, like I am not a Pearl Jam guy. I've listened to so much Pearl Jam growing up in Philly, and then being on
Philly radio stations love Pearl Jam.
Dude, they love them. So
Obsessed.
before I had Sirius, you if you listen to 1 hour of 93.3 WMMR, amazing rock station.
Yep.
You'd hear like 3 Pearl Jam songs like in an hour.
Agreed.
So I pretty much oversaturation for me. I love good Pearl Jam, but there's just too much of it. You know, not too much good. Sorry, too much stuff that like I don't know. Like what words are we saying here, Mr. Eddie Vedder?
It is difficult. But what I like what they did with this is they tried to make a more guitar forward album. Mike McCready solos a lot. Andrew Watt, their producer, that's his name, Andrew Watt, was a Pearl Jam mega fan and really encouraged them to play louder. So I think that's why it has many more upbeat songs than they have. My only complaint about them is lower your ticket prices. They're so against big business and against Ticketmaster, yet they've lost that fight. And I was not paying $700 to see Pearl Jam.
That's just
not doing it.
God. All right, I'm Pearl Jammed out. Number 2, brother.
Supreme Ruler by Kubla Khan.
Dude.
Fucking amazing album. Oh my gosh. This is, I feel like the hardcore fans, they either like Knock Loose or they like Kubla Khan or they like both. 2 very heavy bands, very different vocals. Originally, I was more of a Knock Loose fan, but Kubla Khan to me has, again, that staying power, that revisit energy. All the songs are groove. You have some songs that literally have one word in the song, but it's 50 seconds of riff. I saw them live this year. They're fucking amazing. And this album, Supreme Ruler, delivers. They are going to take over. I think they are going to shoot past Knock Loose at some point, but I guarantee you they will never go on Kimmel. They just seem so aggressive and like these like Texas dudes.
Oh yeah. Their name is wild too. I don't even know what it means. I have no idea.
I believe it's named after like a war dictator or some shit like that. I gotta fact check myself, but unfucking real album. And again, start to finish, a really nice flow. Where Knock Loose's album, even though I like the flow for hardcore, the songs blended together and it got a little much. With Supreme Ruler, they add some great like kind of Pantera inspired riffs that break up the songs enough where I actually know where I am. So that's why I have the 2 hardcore albums in my list. There's a big gap between Knock Loose and Kubla Khan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got to give them a shot. I haven't really given them a fair shake.
Listen to fucking Low Tech. That's
all right. I got some plane action, which actually I got to leave for soon. I got 2 flights this week. So, all right. Number 1, Chris, hit me, baby.
Number 1 is As Above, So Below by Highly Suspect. And it's very crazy that a rock album has made it number one. Yeah. Not a metal album, because you know how I've said metal has been better for years. Dude, this album, it was supposed to be a return to form for Highly Suspect, and it was, and then some. They've got a full lineup now of 5 members. They added a keyboardist a couple years ago, but they made a record that's back to their blues jam rock, but like edgy, and I don't like edgy for edgy's sake, but they pull it off. I mean, there's a ton of drug references in these songs, but
really?
Terrible Johnny, their lead guitarist and singer, he outdoes himself on this. It is a fun, adventurous rock album. That's why, like, my number one listened to album was Dark Matter by Pearl Jam.
Yep.
But As Above, So Below, it's adventurous. It's different. There are better riffs. Like, their first single was 6.5 minutes. I love when a rock band does that. Yeah. Fucking mix it up. Get out of your box. Now, recently they had a falling out with Roadrunner Records, which Johnny talked about, because Roadrunner just got bought completely. Like, Roadrunner Records is done.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah, they're Warner Music Group has owned them. And once again, they tried to take over Highly Suspect with a shitty 360 deal. And they were like, we're out. So Octane was playing Summertime Voodoo, their lead single, as well as Plastic Boxes. Then this goes down, and now they're not being played at all on XM, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has sad songs, pissed off songs, but a lot of great party jams. I could put this thing on shuffle, minus the sad songs, like the upbeat songs, like with anybody, like just myself or with people who don't listen to rock. It is fucking awesome. So number one goes to Highly fucking Suspect. Best album of the year in my book.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I'm telling you, people, it's fucking great.
That's the beauty of this, guys. We are so similar, Chris and I, but we're also so different. And it depends on the year, the mood, the vibe, the feeling. And that did that for you. And I love that for you. That's awesome. Like, I'm almost sad for myself that new music didn't connect as much with me as I was hoping this year, but
the beauty of it is, and I've said this to people online too, where they're like, oh, I wish I knew this band earlier. You're supposed to listen to these songs for the first time when you're supposed to listen to them. Yeah. I really believe that it and it's here to stay, right? So these albums, everyone's looking forward to 2025, but there's some hidden gems. And if there's one takeaway from my list, is Highly Suspect put up a rock album. Like, this is how rock should sound like.
Yeah.
It's not like this recycled Breaking Benjamin plus electronics. That's what I feel like a lot of rock bands sound like.
You're right.
It sounds like trash. Highly Suspect, it sounds like 5 dudes in a garage writing good fucking songs.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
I love it, man. That's awesome. We could talk about these albums for hours, but we're going to keep it short for the people. We want you to now listen to all this stuff, download it all, listen to it, report back in the comments, and then next week you're going to hear 10 interesting songs from me in the rock space and 10 interesting songs in the metal space. But I'm giving you 10 and 10 this time. No, I'm only giving you 5 or 6, and we're going to go into it a little bit more. But
listen, you held your integrity, right? Which was important, because I sold out by getting a haircut today. So we canceled each other out. You held the line. And then next week we'll get into a fuck ton of songs to wrap up fucking 2024, man. We're at the end.
I love it, man. What a year, and what a journey you've invited me on to go with you. I really appreciate it, brother.
Oh, it is a blast. All right, people, we will talk to you all next week. Stay metal, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Stay heavy.